We learned today that prosecutors in Manhattan have started presenting evidence to a grand jury about Donald Trump's role in the hush money payout to Stormy Daniels. New York Times reporting the recently impaneled grand jury began hearing evidence against Trump today in a Manhattan court with a key witness spotted leaving the courthouse with his attorney. Now, this is a big deal because I expect that the DA, Bragg, will now go forward with the case against Trump. He will be indicted. But my question is, why now? This is a case that could have been brought more than 4 years ago. Trump had already been accused by federal prosecutors in 2018 of having violated the law in this particular case, with what seemed like the basic same facts. From the news reports, it doesn't sound like there's anything new here. Why bring this case to a grand jury more than 4 years after the feds highlighted the crime? There's only one reason that I can think of, and it relates to an upcoming book, and the DA's afraid of the politics of not indicting Trump. But more immediately, he should be thinking twice because not only is it coming so much after the fact, but this could be a very hard case to win. It hangs on a relatively novel, untested legal theory, which is going to be difficult to prove. The key component here is the $130,000, which the Trump organization allegedly repaid to Michael Cohen, the former president's ex-fixer. Vital to the case, how Cohen was reimbursed, where the money came from to pay him. And keep in mind, Cohen now, of course, has a felony conviction, has pleaded guilty to lying. They're going to need to show that Trump and his company falsified records to hide the payout from voters days before the 2016 election. Because it's not enough legally if Trump just falsified records. In order for this prosecution to hold up, the falsified records would apparently have to be concealing another crime. Again, why now? If you look back to Michael Cohen's sentencing memo from 2018, it lays out exactly how and why Trump himself was responsible. Quote, as Cohen himself has now admitted with respect to both payments, he acted in coordination and at the direction of individual one, who is Donald Trump. Quote, he did so by orchestrating secret and illegal payments to silence two women who otherwise would have made public their alleged extramarital affairs with individual one. So why is Bragg suddenly resurrecting the case? Well, coincidentally, Mark Pomerantz, a former prosecutor who resigned from Bragg's office last February, is about to release a book where he'll likely criticize Bragg for not prosecuting Trump, despite what Pomerantz said was more than sufficient evidence to bring a case. In his resignation letter, Pomerantz blasted Bragg, saying his decision to indefinitely suspend the investigation into Trump's finances more broadly, while, quote, made in good faith, may nevertheless be wrong. I believe that your decision not to prosecute Donald Trump now and on the existing record is misguided and completely contrary to the public interest. Now, Bragg is so worried about the revelations in the book that he wrote a threatening letter to the publisher. Let's be clear. A Manhattan DA bringing a difficult case 4 years plus after the feds highlighted it will only help Donald Trump politically. It seems to me the only reason for Alvin Bragg to do it is for his own personal political benefit, because otherwise it makes no sense to me. Joining me now is Daniel Alonso. He was Chief Assistant District Attorney in the Manhattan DA's office. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Dan.
Do you think I'm being unfair?
I think you're being a little unfair.
To Bragg?
To Bragg and in general, right? So first of all, shame on the feds 4 years ago, right? They should have brought an additional case. I've always thought it was incredibly unfair to leave the bag man hanging and the people who benefited.
Right, but he was the president. They were going through this issue of the sitting president being indicted. It was probably one of the factors, et cetera.
Shame on the feds on January 1st, 2021 then, right? I mean, so it never struck me as a just result to have Michael Cohen be the only one prosecutor for this. So I don't think it's a bad thing to go after this at all.
But what about the timing? I mean, 4 years after they highlighted. Bragg's now been in office for a year. Suddenly he becomes interested in this case. A year into his tenure, about the Stormy Daniels case from that happened years ago.
What?
Do you not think this is connected to the book?
I don't want to break news, but I've been hearing chatter that they were resurrecting this matter for the last couple of months.
Well, that's
so I don't think it has anything to do with Pomerantz's book.
But they knew about Pomerantz's book for the last couple of months. I mean, that's when they learned about it. The reason he's been trying... See, look, Bragg has been claiming for months, oh, we're still investigating. I never believed it because they brought a civil case with Letitia James in the Attorney General's office, and that was the big case. That's the case Pomerantz wanted to bring. Now they're getting this piddly case this little $130,000 payoff case, and suddenly he's bringing it to a grand jury in January, February of 2023? You're not suspicious about that? Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.